You want answers?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
You want answers?
You have offended my family.
I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth.
And you have offended the Shaolin Temple.
You can't handle the truth.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Radical Rant.
All right, today's rant is entitled, Fuck Cancer. It can kill my body, but not my spirit. And, of course, today's show is dedicated to the memory of SteveVeteran, who, of course, his real name, Stephen Lewis Miller, an American veteran who passed away last night with his family by his side, succumbing to cancer. And personally, SteveVeteran taught me a very, very important lesson yesterday. I had begun my day in a very petty and angry, childish mood. And by the end of the day, I had a little perspective smacked back into my reality. So I want to thank everybody who listens to this show, and for people like SteveVeteran who are out there, who it meant so much to him as he was listening throughout the last couple of months of his life. And I know there's so many more of you out there like that this show means a lot to, and I will always take it that seriously. But I just wanted to read from Steve's words, because when he joined us the beginning of the year. The first post I have from him is January 7th of 2013, 6:48 p.m., when he writes, "Hi all, my name is Steve Miller. You may recognize me as SteveVeteran on Ustream. I was diagnosed with large B-cell lymphoma cancer in April of 2012. I underwent chemotherapy and radiation treatment for cancer. I have peripheral neuropathy as a side effect from the chemo and am essentially a cripple. I was taking numerous pills for the pain, nausea, vomiting, etc. This included 2 different forms of morphine, oxycodone, gabapentin, and various other pills. Additionally, I was taking Ambien for sleep and lithium for my bipolar disorder. I have replaced all of these medications with medical marijuana. Well, I'm only 5 days off the Ambien, and I will get rid of the lithium. So medical marijuana is replacing over 5 other medications I used to take. If you're a veteran and you live in California, contact calvetmeds.com. They can help you get free medical marijuana. Well, they accept donations, but it's never required. So I go to the VA hospital a lot for my treatment. When I do, I introduce myself to other vets in the waiting area and talk about how medical marijuana has helped me get off all those pills, and how I am using it to augment the care I receive from the VA. If they're interested, I get them in touch with Calvet Meds. They said I appear to be cancer-free a couple days ago, but I found a lump in my groin, and my primary care doc wants to see me tomorrow. I'll let you know how I'm doing." January 8th. A little bit of an update. You may not know, but I'm a cancer patient, a U.S. veteran. I thought I'd kicked cancer, so my oncologist had told me. Yet that same night I felt a lump in my groin. Well, my primary care doc wanted to see me and would fit me in. She examined the lumps and was concerned that it was cancer. I was diagnosed in April of 2012. I just thought I was developing arthritis. My doc wanted to get an x-ray, and the results came back the next day that I most likely had cancer. They did a biopsy and confirmed that I have large B-cell lymphoma. I went through nearly 6 months of chemotherapy. I visited the infusion clinic every 3 weeks. I'd be infused with R-CHOP chemo for 6 hours on my appointment days. I lost 50 pounds during this time. Mind you, I was not smoking pot at this time. I had quit. I'd quit that when I'd joined the U.S. Navy in 1982. Navy didn't take kindly to pot smokers, you see. My first real job was working in the urinalysis department. I had to watch people piss in a cup so it could be tested for drugs. But my attitude toward pot never changed. I knew my wife would severely protest, so I endured the nausea and vomiting and loss of appetite. Well, I continued with the chemotherapy over the next several months. I was severely ill at the end of the 6 months from the chemo, not the cancer. The chemo failed to do anything to the cancer. In fact, it had gotten worse. They wanted to do radiation therapy, which I reluctantly agreed to it. But I was so sick from the chemo that I had stopped eating and stopped drinking. I'd done this for 14 days. I knew I was dying. January 9th. I couldn't eat because I was still so sick from the chemo. This is the second time chemo had almost killed me. My wife had gone shopping, and my son Alex asked if I wanted to smoke some marijuana to help my appetite. Remember, I'd not smoked any marijuana since 1982. I said yes and had a great time. My wife came home about that time, and I told her I'd smoked marijuana, and I asked her to fix me a can of soup. I told her the marijuana had given me the munchies. I ate that whole can of soup and have been getting stronger since then. Marijuana literally saved my life. It was around this time that I rapidly developed severe peripheral neuropathy as a side effect from the chemo. I'm essentially a cripple and have to use a wheelchair to get around. The VA is getting me a power wheelchair, and it should be coming anytime soon. If you have people you love who develop cancer, advise them to really think whether they want to get chemotherapy or not. So I went and got my medical marijuana card for me and for my son for his migraines. I started buying marijuana from a local dispensary. Top shelf bud, but it's so expensive. I was browsing the internet when I happened to find calvetmeds.com. They provide free medical marijuana to vets. I am now one of their clients, and now whenever I go to the VA hospital, I will talk with vets about medical marijuana and how it has helped me get off all those pain pills. If they're interested, I give them the contact info for Calvet Meds. So I had some x-rays done 2 days ago and was told I was cancer-free. My doctor called about an hour ago and gave me the bad news. The cancer had returned. He asked if I was in pain, and I told him no, I just smoked some marijuana. I've replaced all my pain pills with marijuana. I have another appointment to see him this coming Monday. You know what pisses me right off? I'm disabled, so I have to rely on delivery services to get my medical marijuana, before I knew about Calvet Meds. San Diego's notorious for busting dispensaries. For the life of me, I can't find one that has hemp oil, cannabis tinctures, salves, etc. They all have bud, edibles, and hash, but none seem to carry concentrated medicines. And this is what prohibition does. I'm a cancer patient and can't even get the medicine for my cancer. Here's what pisses me off. I should be able to walk into any pharmacy and buy cannabis medication, but no, they would rather let cancer patients die than let them get their medicine. I want to tell you a little bit about my life and involvement with marijuana. I started smoking marijuana back in 1970 as a recreational user. I was a senior in high school and the Vietnam War was still happening. I was strongly opposed to the war, as were most of my friends. Marijuana opened my eyes to the civil rights movement happening concurrently with the anti-war movement. We were all tired of the lies the government was feeding us, including their war on marijuana. We knew they were lying to us about the dangers of marijuana because we were smoking it and experiencing no ill effects whatsoever. I attended many rallies and sit-ins and so forth. I was never a major player and was content to merely be a small player in the movement. I helped spread the word about marijuana and turned many friends onto it. But the thing is, I never thought about the possible medical uses of marijuana. No one was talking about medical marijuana back then. It was all about recreational, especially if we got a hold of some Acapulco Gold. Yum! So we started the movement to legalize marijuana back then, and although I'm a medical marijuana patient, I'm completely in favor of recreational use and legalization. I kept using marijuana recreationally until I joined the Navy in 1982. The Navy frowns on the use of marijuana, so I quit using at that time. I am so happy that all our efforts back then are starting to bear fruit. There are numerous states that allow medical marijuana, and Colorado and Washington are legal for recreational use. And I got to see this before I die. Yay! So now I'm using marijuana for my cancer and the associated pain and my peripheral neuropathy. Further, I am still telling people about marijuana, but not as a recreational product, but as a medication for many ills. I plan on telling vets about calvetmeds.com so they can get free medical marijuana. I plan on doing this until the day I die. This forum will be my legacy when I pass away. Hopefully it can help other people as well. January 12th. I've told you about calvetmeds.com several times, a great organization here in California helping vets get free medical marijuana for their disabilities. But so many of our vets come back from the war and experience severe post-traumatic stress from the things they saw or had to do. The war is evil. But what about the rest of the country? What about vets in the other 49 states? Well, I'm happy to tell you that there are organizations that may be able to help you. The first one is Veterans for Medical Marijuana Access, and their website is veteransformedicalmarijuana.org. Another organization is Veterans for Weed United at theveteransforweed.com. Another organization is the Kentucky Veterans for Medical Marijuana. You can find their Facebook page. Now, some vets may be afraid of losing medical care at VA hospitals if their doctor knows they use medical marijuana. This indeed used to be the case, but the VA has come out with a directive that allows vets to use medical marijuana for their disabilities without fear of reprisal, at least for the states that allow medical marijuana. Here's a link to the VA memo. January 13th, chemo sucks. Hi everyone, I hope you're having a tokingly fine day. So, I found some pharmaceutical-grade CBD oil at tetralabs.com. They cover all of California and Washington. Quite expensive, so I can't really get much, and I have to wait till payday to get some. So tomorrow I see my oncologist and get the final results of the PET scan and MRI. I'm not sure what treatment options he'll offer for me, but I know he will not offer chemo. He knows how I feel about chemo. Read my other messages here in the Cancer Forum to find out why. Chemo sucks. Well, I've been feeling ill and weird. Not sure how to explain it. I'm definitely getting weaker and my appetite is poor. I no longer get the munchies when I smoke marijuana. I'm still not in any real pain, thanks to marijuana. I'm still not taking any pain meds other than pot, though I realize I will probably need to start taking morphine again toward the end. But until then, I'm only going to use marijuana. January 14th. Hi everyone, keep toking. I just got back from my physical therapy and to see my oncologist. So he showed me the PET scan results, and there are 7 lymph nodes infected with lymphoma in my right groin and going down my inner thigh. Dr. Yan asked me if I wanted to try chemo again, and I said, you know by now what I said, chemo sucks! He laughed and said he wanted to talk to the head oncologist, Dr. Peel. She said radiation may be beneficial, and I agreed to that. I then informed her that I was using medical marijuana for my cancer, and Dr. Yan told me I was able to replace all my pain meds with medical marijuana. She was very happy to hear this and told me if it was helping, keep using it. I then told them the story of how marijuana saved my life, and they both laughed, saying, yes, there's one thing we're certain about marijuana, it helps the appetite. I then told them I was going to educate them a little and told them about cannabidiol, CBD, and that it appears to strangle the blood supply to cancerous tumors and causes cancer cells to commit suicide. I told them that more research needed to be done in this area. Now remember, these are 2 VA doctors who have specialized in cancer treatment, yet they knew nothing whatsoever about CBD. Newsflash, January 14th. I forgot to mention that while I was at physical therapy, Rick told me my power wheelchair had just arrived and they were unpacking it. Nice! Further, the wheelchair ramp is being installed this Thursday. Whoop, whoop! When the weather's nice, I can go out. VA's fitting the whole bill. So, January 15th. So what is the speed limit for a power wheelchair? Should I token drive? Will I get pulled over by the police if I do so? Laugh out loud. But seriously, remember people, don't token drive. Be smart and stay safe. So my nurse from Vitas Hospice comes over, and I let her know the results of my PET scan and that I had talked with my oncologist yesterday and told them about cannabidiol, CBD, the component of marijuana. She didn't know anything about it, but again was extremely interested. So I gave her the link to Project CBD. Thanks, Russ, for telling me about this site, projectcbd.com. I also mailed that link to my oncologist since he had expressed interest in CBD. I let her know that I was not eating well again and that I now weighed only 185 pounds. I was 245 this past April when I was diagnosed with cancer. Kind of overweight for 5'10". Unfortunately, the CBD from Tetralabs is so expensive. $40 for only 5 capsules, a 5-day supply. I would need much more than that, and unfortunately, I can't afford it. January 16th, Calvet Meds rocks. Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing fine. I had a great day today as I went to visit my friend from calvetmeds.com. His name's Doc. He gave me some fine weed. We talked for a bit about his school and my cancer. We smoked a few bowls of the medical marijuana he had, and we had a great time. I told Doc I had educated my oncologist about CBD. I then asked Doc if he had a way of getting some high-content CBD oil concentrate for me. He said Calvet Meds was already working on that. When we got home, I took my power wheelchair for a spin to the bus stop to see how long it takes. The answer is 30 minutes. So now that I'm mobile, I can go to some of my appointments using public transit by myself. Nice. January 18th. I'm going to become a Rastafarian. Seriously, I'm researching Rastafarianism. Seems like a nice spiritual belief system. Peace, love, compassion. I like that. Further, they understand that marijuana is a spiritual and sacramental herb. I don't know much about their prophets, but I'm slowly learning. I need to find a Rasta church in San Diego. So I maintain that even recreational use of cannabis is medicine. Hear me out. They say laughter is the best medicine, and marijuana makes me feel happy. Thus, recreational use is medicine. So I went to Balboa Naval Hospital today to get the radiation scheduled, and while I was there, I talked with my oncologist about CBD. If you don't know about CBD, you need to go to projectcbd.com. And of course, he had never heard about CBD, so I educated him about it. He said his only problem with marijuana is it currently lacks quality control, consistent dosage, proper titration. I told him to just go to Project CBD and check it out. He said he's going to a conference next week and he'll try to see if anyone else is working on CBD projects. January 19th. Eek! Not morphine! To be clear, I'm not opposed to using pharmaceutical medications. I just prefer to use cannabis to treat my symptoms, as long as I can. The pain in my leg has been severe for the past couple of days, so I admit I've taken morphine a couple times in the past couple of days. Now, y'all know that cannabis is an herb given to us by Jah for our well-being. So, opium poppy is also a sacred herb given to us for our well-being. I'm not sure if this is a Rasta belief or not, but I suspect they would not be opposed to the use of opium for the treatment of pain associated with several diseases, including cancer. Of course, I am still using cannabis for its cancer-healing properties, sleep aid, to treat my depression, etc. And again, I use cannabis to help me meditate and use imagery to fight off my cancer, just like any good Rasta man does. Laugh out loud. I'm not a Rastafarian yet, but I'm learning. It's a beautiful spiritual belief system whose members believe cannabis is a sacred plant useful for our many ills. January 20th. Acid rock. Hey everyone, I hope you're having a tokingly fine day today. So I was just interviewed on the Lively Libra show and it was a blast. Thanks, Libra, for the opportunity to tell my story. But one thing we missed was, what's your favorite genre of music? The answer is acid rock of the 60s and 70s. Well, I grew up at that time. Timothy Leary was our priest and prophet. I know Herb considers Deep Purple's Child in Time as metal, and I can't disagree with him, but it's also acid rock. Then there's Jefferson Airplane with Volunteers and Go Ask Alice. And of course, the greatest acid rock theme album of all times was Jefferson Starship's Blows Against the Empire. Can't forget Jimi Hendrix or Frank Zappa with his album 200 Motels. So much great acid rock, but it seems to be a forgotten genre. Well, enough for now. Stay high. January 21st. Contest announcement. Hi everyone, that's right, I'm announcing a contest. The prize will be spectacular. You will have helped out mankind free himself from cancer. As you know, I talk about CBD all the time. If not, feel free to read my past posts to educate yourself about CBD. So here's the contest. Go to projectcbd.com website and read about CBD as little or as much as you'd like. They have a list of strains high in CBD. But they need people to keep developing high CBD cannabis. Y'all know and like me. So have them name a new CBD strain after me. That's the whole contest. And then people would know that to treat cancer, they would know to use the SteveVeteran strain to treat cancer. It'd be the strain everyone would know is associated with cancer. I'm sure I'm being somewhat egotistical, but I so much want to spread the word of CBD cannabis. People would say, yeah, that SteveVeteran variety don't get you very high, but it sure kicks cancer's butt. January 25th, Cancer Meditations. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all having an awesome day. So besides using cannabis to help heal my cancer, I also use meditation and imagery. Before I go to sleep, I'll smoke a bowl of nice indica. I put on some meditative music or reggae, lay down, and put myself into a trance. I will then do one of several exercises. The marijuana helps me get into the trance state, relax, and do the imagery. Here's one such imagery I use. There's a commercial for a flea and tick medications for dogs, and we see it all the time. In the commercial, the flea looks like a monster. Then the medication's applied, and it appears as several ninja warriors armed with bow staffs, and they proceed to wipe out the fleas and all the eggs. So I imagine my cancer is the fleas, and marijuana and my immune system are the ninja warriors wiping out the cancer. You may laugh at this. It is pretty funny. But studies seem to show that imagery can indeed activate our immune systems to fight off diseases, and it is quite relaxing. I meditate with reggae music a lot. I really have always loved Bob Marley. Three Little Birds seems to be especially relevant to me. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be all right. So I know I don't have to worry about my cancer. It'll be all right. Very significant to me. Helps relieve the stress and depression I use lots of other meditative centering techniques, always integrated with the use of marijuana. So yesterday I got fitted for a mold for my upcoming radiation therapy. I had worn my Monty Python Holy Grail t-shirt, and one of the techs noticed it and commented on it. Soon all four of us were quoting from the movie. Bring out your dead! Bring out your dead! I'm not dead yet. I'm getting better. What's your favorite color? Blue. No, green. Ah! Yellow. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Laugh out loud, hilarious stuff. We went on like this for a good 5 minutes or so. January 29th, a new convert. Greetings, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. So the other day, I was watching the show here at 420radio.org, and there was a video playing about SteveVeteran. I'd never heard about SteveVeteran before watching this video. If you haven't heard about it, I'm not surprised. It's a medication put out by a company in the United Kingdom called GW Pharmaceuticals, and it's now in phase 3 clinical trials here in the USA. It is composed of 2 cannabinoids, specifically THC and CBD. So you know me, I printed some info out from their website and got it to my 2 oncologist secretaries a few days ago. I saw my primary oncologist yesterday, and he apologized that he was not able to read my info completely, but was able to glance at it. He then said something that shocked and delighted me. He said, Steve, this stuff is real. I know some people doing clinical trials, and no promise, but I'm going to see if I can get you into the SteveVeteran trials. So cool. We have a convert who now understands that cannabis is real medicine, and he will most certainly talk with his fellow oncologists about it. On a totally different subject, we had some very old and dear friends visit the other day. The woman asked me how I was feeling. I told them I was okay and that medical marijuana helps a lot with the pain. These friends did not know I was using cannabis until that moment. I explained how cannabis appears to kill cancer. They were extremely supportive and were happy I was actively participating in my health care. I am happy to do my little part in the movement. All the folks here at 420 Radio are doing the big work. Without 420 Radio, we would have never found out about SteveVeteran. So thanks to all of you for what you do. Big Pharma saved my life, February 4th. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having an awesome day. So I already told you that marijuana saved my life, so I figured it was only fair to inform you that Big Pharma also saved my life when I was undergoing chemo. I was immune compromised and developed a temperature. I was hospitalized for a few days and pumped full of antibiotics. I would have died otherwise. So no, I am not entirely opposed to Big Pharma. I was again thankful for Big Pharma when my cancer was giving me severe pain last night and I couldn't sleep. I took some morphine and I was able to sleep. Some people tell me I should be using whole cannabis, juicing it and making my own oil. I agree, this is a good option for many people, just not me. Just trust me, growing and making my own oil is impossible for me. My son says he wants to grow it for me, and I might try to find some cannatonic seeds that have the ideal ratio of 1-to-1 THC to CBD. So, say I am ever given the opportunity to use SteveVeteran, I would jump at the chance. Concentrated THC CBD at the ideal 1-to-1 ratio? True, it isn't the whole plant. I would still smoke and vape to take care of that. We're all in this together, folks. Don't be critical of one person's decision to use Big Pharma for certain conditions. Not only that, but every tiny step we make toward legalization is welcome. If Big Pharma feels they need to isolate molecules of cannabis so doctors know how to properly titrate it, proper dosage, medication contraindications, etc., these are the type of things most doctors feel they need to know before they can prescribe any medication. This won't change anytime soon. I do also agree that Big Pharma are bastards out to rip us all off of the little money we have. Further, many of the drugs they put out are pure poison. A Nirvana event, February 6th, 8:15 a.m. Hi, everyone. Hope you're having a great life. No, my cancer is not cured. That's not the marvelous event I am talking about. You may not know, but I am terminal with 6 months or so to live. Fact is, I could die any day. I'm on hospice care, and I have a nurse, social worker, chaplain, and home health aide visit me several times a week. So what is this marvelous event I'm talking about? Well, the fact that I woke up alive today. Celebrate life. Life is too short to do otherwise. Cancer or other terminal disease makes you very aware of this. So how do I celebrate life? Well, I talk with everyone I meet about using cannabis to treat my cancer. I meditate, and I take silly photos of snail trails and manhole covers. Bad news, February 12th. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a marvelous day. Me? Not so good. I saw 2 of my oncologists today. Saw my primary oncologist first. He told me my recent tests showed that my cancer is much more aggressive than they originally thought. He said I might not have much longer to live. He didn't say if that meant a day, a week, a month, or whatever, but I got the distinct impression it was not very long. Fuck cancer. It may be able to kill my body, but it will never kill my spirit. My therapist said I'm getting noticeably stronger, so I have a new goal in life. I plan to exercise my ass off so that hopefully I will be able to walk again before I die. Screw you, cancer. You can't kill my spirit. He asked if I was experiencing any pain, and I again pointed out to him that cannabis was doing its job to kill the pain. You can shove it up your ass, cancer. I have cannabis on my side, and it hates you just as much as I do, so fuck off and die, cancer. So my docs still want to do chemo after radiation to try to prevent further metastasizing. To which I always respond, chemo sucks. But my primary explained that they would not use R-CHOP this time, but only use Rituxan and one other med, forgot the name, so it would be much milder. I tentatively and reluctantly agreed to this. He said they would stop it immediately if I started exhibiting any bad symptoms. They always ask me how I'm feeling, and I explain that cannabis helps me feel fine, pain-free, and happy. Well, enough for now. It's 3:30 in the morning, and I haven't slept at all after all this long and exhausting day. I'm exhausted, but can't seem to be able to get to sleep. Going to try to lay my power chair way back and get some sleep. Peace. And then that was our last post that we got from SteveVeteran on February 12th. We then got posts from his son Alex, who on February 25th said, "Hello and good afternoon, everyone. For those who don't know me, most probably don't, I'm SteveVeteran's son. Since last Friday morning, my father has had really bad hiccups. He has been at the La Jolla VA Medical Center since Friday and is in critical condition. His cancer is spreading, and if I'm not mistaken, I was told it spread to his liver. The most recent update I've heard was that he has moved to palliative care and will remain there for a set amount of time. My father asked me a few months ago if I would post on here and let the community know he has passed. He has not left us yet, and I pray for a miracle that he doesn't for a long time. But however the outcome, I will keep the promise I made to my father by keeping 420radio.org updated on his current condition." March 2. Good morning, everyone. I'm back again to give you all an update on how my father is doing. Since I posted last time, my father has had a huge improvement. Although his condition may still be terminal, he is still in the most joyful mood ever. He has accepted that he will die from cancer, and our whole family understands that too. My dad asked that when he passed, we wouldn't be crying in sadness, but rather that we threw a party of joy in the passing of my father into a new life. I will do just that, regardless of tears on that day. They will be tears of joy and happiness. Doctors have still said at any moment my father's life could end. I still have hopes of my father coming home one last time for a great big sesh. I pray every day that I will get that chance again, and I hope I do so. March 4th. Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a great weekend. I'm back again to give you another update on how my dad is doing. On Sunday morning, the doctors came and increased his morphine medication to 1.4 milligrams. He used to be at 0.6 milligrams. His pain has gotten worse, but that's okay because of the increase in pain meds they've given him. He actually feels less pain, and I thank them for that. Unfortunately, on Saturday night, when I stayed the night with him, he chose to have a purple wristband placed around his wrist. On the wristband are the letters DNR, which stands for Do Not Resuscitate. In any case of my father flatlining, the doctors will not try to revive him. It is a choice that my father has made, and I fully support him of it and will always be there for him. Also, because of the high dosage of morphine, he is getting somewhat unable to have full conversations and finish sentences, which is again okay because of the morphine. Other than that, he's doing pretty well and still fighting. In my father's words, fuck cancer. It can kill his body, but not his spirit. March 5th, final update on Dad, but not my last post. Good evening, everyone. Last night, Monday, March 4th, 2013, at around 9:30 p.m., my father, Stephen Lewis Miller, took his final breaths at the VA Center in La Jolla. I really don't know what else there is to say here, although I'm glad my father can rest in peace without any pain. I love him so much, and I bet he's already smoking stacks up there right now. Anyways, everyone, thank you for all the support. Really appreciate it. My dad loved you all, and you are all great, friendly people. This won't be my last post, and it won't be the last time you see me here, but now I'll end with this. God bless you, and in my father's words, cancer can kill my body, but not my spirit. Rest in peace, Father Stephen Lewis Miller, 1952 to 2013.